Okay, I want to address the audio in this video because there's honestly no way to not notice. I sounded like I was speaking, this is why this is on. I sounded like I was speaking into a tin can the entire video. So I had bought a new wireless microphone thinking that I was stepping my game up. And not so much. It sounded terrible. I am not familiar with how to adjust audio yet. It is something I am learning how to do, so I do not know if it is the microphones themselves, if it's how I have it formatted, or what the issue may be. It sounded like there was some type of like squelching, feedback, I don't know, some kind of unpleasant noise in the background for majority of the video, and I did try to go into audio settings and fix that to the best of my ability. So with that being said, I do apologize for the audio in this and unfortunately the next video because I film more than one video at a time. And unfortunately this mistake was caught way too late. So just kind of the the nature of the beast when it comes to YouTube and all of this kind of stuff. We just kind of jumped in head first, not really knowing what we're doing. We're learning as we're going, and as we get larger and we do try to expand out and try new filming techniques or equipment, there's always bound to be something to happen. Now I'm trying to look at the bright side and just thankful that there is audio and that I didn't get done with filming 2 videos only to find out there was no audio at all, which would have been absolutely terrible. But the audio I do have does not sound good, so I do apologize in advance for that. Anyway, so with that being said, enjoy the video. Hey y'all, welcome back to the channel. Today I've got a great recipe. I'm so excited for this one. I wanted something fresh, and I know that salsa is just where it's at. Now we're going to be doing this on the Traeger, and I do have a little bit of a twist for it. So let's go ahead and get started. Alright, so as you see, I've got a ton of different ingredients here because I wanted to add just a little bit of everything into our salsa. We've got the main ingredients that you would think that come in salsa, and then I've got some twists. So first thing I want to do is get my Traeger running. I've got it at 225 degrees, and we're going to be smoking these vegetables just to kind of incorporate that smoked flavor into it, and also to soften up the vegetables just a little bit, and just take this to a whole other level. So first things first, I want to make a marinade. We're going to start with some olive oil. And I don't need a whole lot because I just want to put a very light coating on the vegetables. Some salt. I'm sorry, I know that is really loud. Some black pepper, some red pepper flake. Don't need too much of that. Want to add a little extra heat. And then we're going to go in with some of our Maddog seasoning. This is the barbecue seasoning. I cannot wait for that drop. It is coming, you guys. I promise it is coming. I'm so excited. All right. And we're just going to kind of stir that together. And we've got us a little marinade. This is just going to add just a little bit of extra flavor to all of these vegetables. I'm going to set this to the side. Okay. And we've got all these that need to be sliced and prepared to go out onto the Traeger. Got some Roma tomatoes. All right, so our tomatoes are just cut in half. We'll set those to the side. We're going to be saving this bad boy till last because I'm probably going to cry. All right, and then I've got some jalapenos. I'm going to slice those in half, and I am not going to worry about seeding those. Got a few sweet peppers. My daughter will eat these just as they are. She loves sweet peppers. She will just eat them as a snack. Got a lime, which I'm going to take the sticker off of. Slice it in half as well. Got a bulb of garlic, and if you guys have been watching the channel for any amount of time, you've probably came across a recipe with garlic in it. It is a staple. It adds so much flavor to a recipe, but I hate peeling and chopping bulbs of garlic, like cloves of garlic. And so I always buy the stuff that's in the squeeze bottle because it's just so much simpler, and I don't have to worry about stinky garlic being all over, my cutting board and everything else. But in this case, we're going to be roasting this garlic. So you'll just take your bulb and we're just going to cut the head of it off, just exposing all of the garlic cloves inside, just like that. And then we're going to wrap that up. Once I clean my mess up, we're going to wrap this into some foil, just like that. That's our garlic. Now this is kind of our odd duck right here. But I want to add some apple. It just brightens up the flavor. You would be shocked at how well the apple goes with the salsa. If you kind of think, it's not unusual to have fruit with salsa, like mango salsa and stuff like that, but this apple goes great. It does not overpower anything. It just gives it kind of that freshness. So 1 green apple. Again, we're just slicing everything just very large. We will handle all the breakdown of everything after the smoke. All right, and then the onion, and I'm going to slice it. Just take off the really papery outer layers. I'm not worried about fully peeling it, just the papery bits. Now, each one of these I want to get marinated. Apart from my garlic, I wanted to leave it how it is. My onion, because I've got the papery bit, it's not going to do me any good to have my marinade on the outside. So I'm just going to take this and just kind of dip the face into the marinade. Just like that. And then the same with my lime. Anything that basically has a skin on it that we will not be processing, we're just going to dip the face into. The apple, we will be processing the skin, but we can still just do it face forward. Okay, and then our peppers, we'll throw them in there. We're going to kind of toss them about. And our tomatoes. Now we're going to head out to the Traeger with all of our veggies, and we're going to get them all set up. So I will see you guys out at the Traeger. All right, we are out here at the Traeger. We are going to take all of our veggies and just get them set up. Just like that. Now we are going to let these smoke for about an hour and a half. We just want to get good smoke flavor incorporated, but we don't want these to shrivel up and get all gross. So we'll see here in about an hour and a half. All right, guys, it has now been an hour and a half. It is time to get all of our veggies off of the Traeger. So I'm going to just start scooping them up to the best of my ability. All right, we have got all of our stuff off of the Traeger. Now I've got these kind of split in half. So on this side, I have got my tomatoes and my peppers because those are ready to go. I do not need to further process these. They are ready to go into the salsa as they are. So now I've got this side. This is my onion, my lime, my apple, and my garlic, because all of these I need to do something to get them ready. So we're going to start with our onion. All I'm going to do is take my knife. I'm going to make a split. I'm going to pull off the outer layer of skin, and then I'm going to slice the edge off. Now that piece of onion is ready to go. Do the same thing with this one. And just like that, that one is now ready to go as well. All right, now for my lime, all I'm going to do is just slice that into quarters, because we're going to be using the juice, not the actual lime. Okay, so lime's ready to go. Apple, I'm going to just cut around the core. Just cut that core piece out, and this is ready to go as well. Same thing, just kind of a deep V shape, just to cut around the core, and ready to go. And our garlic, we've got all of this just open. You can see that. Let me get a little closer. And we are going to just squeeze those garlic cloves out. Roasted garlic takes on a whole different flavor. It is a whole different beast from fresh garlic. It becomes much sweeter, a little more tame in flavor. Some people will roast garlic and use it directly as it is, because it becomes kind of like a paste, and they will spread it right on toast just as it is. All right, so now I've got everything prepared. So what I'm going to do is let this completely cool, and then I'll be back. All right, these have been sitting for a while now. We are all cool. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to break some of this down into some smaller pieces just to make it a little easier. Now, when you're processing these, you can put this into a food processor. You can put it into a blender. I'm going to be using a NutriBullet. Now, what I will say is that the NutriBullet will get this stuff very, very fine. I'm not going to have a chunky salsa, which is fine because that's how my family prefers it. They do not like the chunky stuff. They want the flavors, not to see the bits. So that works out perfectly. But if you do not want your salsa to be like well chopped up, then you need to either do it by hand or do it with a food processor. Anyway, so there's my little warning to you. All right, so I'm going to take my onions and I'm just going to quarter those up. And then the apples, I'm just going to kind of chop into little slices. So much easier to handle stuff. If I tried to do this when it first came off the Traeger, it would have been impossible. The peppers, honestly, the peppers are probably fine, but I'm going to chop them in half just to make them a little bit smaller. Tomatoes, we'll just go in half. Honestly, they're so soft that they will have no issue just being processed right away. And then again, the lime, I had thought about using some of the fruit from the lime, so maybe I can. I should be able to just peel this from the skin. Okay, that works. I've also got some cilantro here, so I'm going to get a few sprigs of cilantro. And you just want the leaves off of it, you don't want the stems. So I'm going to go through and just pick some of this. Alright, I'm going to have to probably do this in a couple different little batches. So throw some tomato in, some jalapeno. I'm just making sure I get a little bit of everything. There's some of the sweet pepper, quarter of that lime, a couple slices of the apple, some of the cilantro and onion, and then a chunk of this garlic. I'm going to go with that. I'm going to go blend this up, dump it into a different container, and then we'll come back. It's probably going to take me 3 different goes here, but that's okay. So I will be right back. All right, we are back, and as you can see, I have got my jar of salsa. Right now, it does kind of look orange, doesn't it? So the first time that I made salsa, I was so confused as to why it turned orange. But this is just because that NutriBullet pumps so much air into this mixture that it lightens it up and makes it look orange. As this sits, it will turn red. All that air bubbles will slowly work their way to the surface and pop, and the color will change as well as the texture. Right now, because of all that air, this is very frothy, and that will change also. So what I'm going to do is cover up my jar, and I'm going to stick it in the fridge and let it sit for at least a few hours, and then we will be back to give it a try. All right, I am back, and it's been a couple of hours now. I've let this kind of settle down in the fridge and get nice and cold. So now we're going to finally get to try our salsa. It's so good. It's so fresh. The vegetables being smoked first, that smoke flavor comes through. Just complements everything so well. There is nothing like good salsa. It's just, oh, such a good snack. Let me get myself together here. Okay, so before I end up polishing this off, I just want to thank you guys for sticking with us. We are now over 400 subscribers. We are seeing growth, and that is the coolest thing ever. We really do appreciate you guys. If you have not liked and subscribed yet, please go do that now. We appreciate the support. Go check out our website, maddogsbarbecueco.com. Check out our sauces. Got a couple videos up on the website as well. It's pretty cool. And we will see you guys in the next one.